Greetings, this is Diego Knight. I'm Rosarito, and I went to the USBC General Assembly, and the guest speaker is Martina Dobesh. She's a freelance writer, and she has one of her books, and it's called Dust in My Sandals. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for doing this.
You're very welcome. USBC asked you to do a presentation. So first thing is, tell us history about you.
Okay. Fourth generation Californian, coming from Encinitas, California. The first time I actually stepped foot into Baja California was I was in my 40s, and my sister brought me, and it changed my life. And it changed my life in ways that I had not expected. I was not looking for it. There's a saying that Baja turned me into a storyteller. It's not my words, but they are my words. Baja turned me into a storyteller. I saw the beauty, I saw the vastness, I saw the wildness. And then I also listened to the people. I saw the nature. I met the Kumeyaay Indians. My journeys have brought me from the northern Baja all the way to Baja Sur, all the way to Cabo San Lucas. I couldn't not live here anymore. It's my home.
Yeah. In this book, what type of story? How many stories do you have in this one?
This is probably 75 different stories over a 30-year period, and it is composites of stories that aren't linear. So they kind of fall into place like categories like town experiences or the nature or the people. It is a book that anyone who's really interested in understanding Baja, journeying into Baja, really should take a look at the book, because it will open up areas that you would never think about visiting before, or maybe you would be concerned about visiting. And so all of it is investigation as a single woman. I've done all of these except for a few with my sister. We traveled together for a number of years here. We found it safe and not necessarily easy. The roads aren't easy. The gas stations at that time didn't have gas. If it rained, the roads turned to mud. But the book now will actually serve people in understanding different areas of Baja California and maybe speak to them so that they would actually go and visit.
We mentioned before we started with the presentation about everyone has a story, and I've only gotten photography about 10 years ago and journalism in 2017, and I know for sure everyone has a story. And how would you, from this perspective, if someone wants to get involved with writing or journalism, what would you recommend for them to start into?
Oh, that's a good question. First of all, buy a pen and a nice one. Okay, and then buy a journal, a nice one. Don't do the blind kindergarten variety of paper. Start with intention would be the next one. Pen, paper, and intention. And then there's a need to be quiet and observant. So I think a good storyteller already is doing that, but might not understand it. They're already seeing things, they're already feeling things, they already are asking the right questions. They're already asking themselves questions. By putting all of that into writing, start with one sentence. If you're one that kind of is a self-judger, that you don't know where to start, you start with one word. So it's really easy. If you don't judge that you're supposed to start out with your book, you start with one word, and then that always leads to the next word. And then once that starts to happen consistently, so we have intention, and part of that is consistency. It's not something writing, you can do it once a month, but there's not much intention or gift that comes out once a month. So I would say the consistency of creating a habit. each day, if not each day because of work and other responsibilities, but commit time to it. Otherwise, it disappears into a cell phone.
Another aspect of living here, we know that there's a lot of Americans, I think around 15,000 Americans who live here in Rosarito. Why is the Rosarito? That's the official term. And most people, I wouldn't say all of it, but a lot of people think Rosarito or Mexico goes to the beach. That's it. It's a beautiful view when we have a sunset, and it's changing every single year. And I noticed that in December and January, the sunsets are really fantastic, and you have to be careful. They change within seconds. And also when the sun goes down, most people, okay, the sunset's over. No, the colors are really beautiful, really intense. Now, getting involved with photography, but also with journalism, and I know people hasn't realized that, yeah, we have the rest of Mexico.
Right.
And that's different perspective. And I've gone to some of the mountains. There's a Cabagata in October, the big horseback ride. I've been there with them before, and over certain areas, we had wildfires in 2019, and I went to the fire areas, wildfire, then I took photos and also with a drone of the views of the fire. But the thing is, some mountains are really incredible. And from my perspective, it's like Rosarito is not just on the beach. And as you said, hey, you want to try margarita? Go for the margarita, enjoy that. But the thing is, there's other places to show about Mexico.
Right.
So from my perspective, you have the beach, but also you have the mountains and other stuff.
Yes.
How would you, in a short perspective of what you think of Rosarito is?
To me, Rosarito is an area of Baja. If that's I'm not quite sure I understand the question, but to me, Rosarito is a central hub, friendly. And that for me, and I can only speak for my own experience, is that I have spent hardly any time at all in Tijuana. And the reason is not because Tijuana isn't really a amazing, rich place, historically, gastronomically, all of it. I'm just a small town girl. And so I tend to gravitate to the smaller communities. So when you say Rosarito to me is a hub of invitation from the north that is easier to move into than I would say moving into the community of Tijuana. And it's a good starting place. It would be a good place like coming to this beautiful hotel, the Rosarito Beach Hotel. Coming here, spending comfort time, and investigate out from here. So it's almost kind of like, to me, an actual visual hub. Like there's a hub of a wheel, and then there's places all around you that you can go out and investigate into the desert, like real desert,
Yeah,
into
that's
the
correct.
highest mountains where some of the telescopes are, because the air is so clear there. The estuaries. I live near one in La Misión. Is a migration for birds there. So there's all kinds of things. You'll find the giant sequoias, and you'll find the little tiny fish in the estuary. You'll find plants that will heal you, and plants that will kill you. You'll find animals that are precious, and those that you need to stay clear of. So hub of Rosarito, and then out from there. You're with website?
Baja
Bound is my column.
Okay, Baja
Yeah,
Bound.
BajaBound.com is my column under the heading of the Baja StoryTeller.
Once I get this information, I'll email you and you get the information, the links. So when I put this interview up, I'll put the links for that one. And also, if someone wants to purchase your book,
Amazon. Amazon.com.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. An honor to meet you,
Thank
and
you.
we'll be working with each other in the future.
I love it. Thank you.